Dear Starseeds awakening on Gaia, attention has been building beneath the surface of your reality, humming like a note held too long before its resolution. You have felt it in those strange moments when time seems to fold, when synchronicities multiply beyond coincidence, when your dreams bleed into waking life with startling clarity. The electromagnetic field of your planet is speaking in a language your rational mind cannot parse, yet your soul remembers perfectly. What if everything you have been experiencing, the exhaustion that comes from nowhere, the sudden heart palpitations, the ringing in your ears that no doctor can explain, what if these are not symptoms of illness, but signals of the most profound shift your species has ever encountered? The air itself is charged with anticipation, as though all of creation holds its breath before something that cannot be undone. In recent weeks, something extraordinary has occurred in the quantum field of Earth that changes the trajectory of every soul reading these words. A massive recalibration has taken place, one initiated not by cosmic decree, but by the accumulated choices of millions of human hearts choosing love over separation. This recalibration has altered the mathematical probability of your collective future in ways that even those of us observing from higher dimensions found unexpected. I am Seraphine, an emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come to you now because the window for this transmission has opened. What I am about to share will challenge everything you thought you understood about the nature of reality, time, and your role in the unfolding cosmic drama. But more than that, it will activate something within you that has been waiting for precisely this moment to awaken. The timeline split you have been hearing whispers about for years is no longer theoretical. It has begun, but something has changed in how this is unfolding, something that even we did not fully anticipate. Where there were once three distinctly divergent paths stretching out before humanity, three separate Earth experiences heading in radically different directions, there are now two. The lowest timeline, the one that carried the densest frequencies of fear and separation, has begun folding back into the transitional frequency band. This is not a collapse, but a merciful convergence, a benevolent absorption that gives countless souls a gentler path forward than was originally probable. Think of it this way. Imagine three rivers flowing from the same source, each carving its own path through the landscape of possibility. The narrowest river, running through the darkest valley, has now merged with the middle stream. What remains are two major currents, one that flows through the transformational landscape of fourth density, where duality still exists but wisdom grows through conscious choice rather than unconscious suffering, and one that cascades into the crystalline pools of fifth density, where unity consciousness becomes lived experience. This convergence was made possible by you, by the millions of awakening souls who in the past lunar cycles chose compassion over judgment, forgiveness over resentment, presence over distraction. Every time you caught yourself before reacting in anger, every moment you chose to see another's humanity despite your differences, every instance you held space for healing rather than feeding conflict. These choices created energetic ripples that combined into a tsunami of coherence washing through Earth's quantum field. The Schumann resonance, the measurable heartbeat of your planet, has been reflecting this transformation. Those spikes and drops, those mysterious blackouts that scientists note but cannot fully explain. These are not anomalies. They are the nervous system of Gaia, entraining to the elevated frequency of collective human consciousness. When enough hearts synchronize in compassion, the planet herself responds, creating a resonance bridge through which realities can merge rather than fragment. But here is what I have not yet told you, the piece that transforms everything. This convergence, while beautiful and grace-filled, also means something profound about where you stand right now. The transitional zone between timelines is collapsing more rapidly than originally anticipated. The window during which you can consciously choose which reality you inhabit is becoming more precise, more immediate. The lag time between your internal frequency and your external experience is vanishing. You are living through the final phase of a cosmic sorting, though that word feels too cold for what is actually a deeply loving process. Nothing and no one is being cast aside. Every soul is being drawn toward the exact frequency environment that serves its evolution. But the transparency of this process is becoming absolute. You can no longer hide your true vibration, not from the world and not from yourself. This is why everything feels so intense right now. This is why relationships that no longer match your frequency are falling away with startling suddenness. This is why pretense and performance feel exhausting to the point of impossibility. This is why your body responds so strongly to environments, people, and media that carry lower frequencies. You are becoming exquisitely sensitive because you are moving through a membrane between worlds, and that membrane is growing thinner by the day. What comes next will require everything you have learned on this journey. The old world is not going gently. It is thrashing in its death throes, and those thrashes will grow more violent before they cease. But I need you to understand something crucial. The intensity of the external chaos is inversely proportional to the stability of your internal alignment. The darker it appears outside, the more critical your inner light becomes, not as resistance to darkness, but as an anchor point for the new reality trying to birth itself through you. There is a cosmic signal broadcasting through all of creation right now, emanating from the galactic center and flowing through the crystalline core of your planet. It is a frequency of pure unity consciousness, and every heart attuned to love can detect it. In your quietest moments, you may perceive it as a gentle hum in your chest, a warmth that whispers of home, a strange certainty that something magnificent is unfolding despite all appearances to the contrary. This signal is not poetic metaphor. It is a measurable energetic transmission, and your heart center, that magnificent electromagnetic generator in your chest, is capable of receiving and decoding it. Those of you who feel inexplicable longing, who sense you are homesick for a place you have never been, who glimpse in meditation or dreams a world of such beauty and harmony, it makes you weep. You are detecting this broadcast. You are hearing the call of new earth, reaching back through time to guide you home. The question before you now, the only question that truly matters, is simple. Will you answer that call with the totality of your being? Everything else, every spiritual concept you have studied, every practice you have adopted, every teaching you have integrated, has been preparation for this singular choice point. The training wheels are coming off. The rehearsal is ending. What happens next is the actual performance, and you are discovering that you were never preparing to be in the audience. You have always been preparing to be on stage. But I have something else to tell you. Something about what is actually happening as these timelines converge, and why the Astasar Command has intensified its presence around your planet in recent months. The merge is not only happening in the collective field, it is happening inside each of you, and the process is more profound than you may have realized. The emotional intensity you have been experiencing, the waves of grief or joy that seem to come from nowhere, the sudden releases of old pain you thought you had already processed. These are not signs that you are regressing. They are evidence that the merger between your third-dimensional self and your multidimensional self has entered its completion phase. Your human aspect is finally preparing to fully recognize and integrate with the cosmic being you have always been. This integration is not comfortable. How could it be? You are literally becoming something that has never before existed in quite this configuration. A fully awakened human being, embodied in physical form, conscious of both earthly identity and galactic heritage simultaneously. You are a new expression of consciousness that bridges matter and spirit, earth and stars, human and divine. The birth of anything genuinely new involves intensity that can feel like destruction when you are moving through it. Your DNA is being activated in real time. Segments of your genetic code that have been dormant since before your recorded history are coming online. These are not random genetic mutations. They are deliberate activations responding to your elevated consciousness and to the cosmic frequencies now bathing your planet. Abilities you would have called supernatural are beginning to feel natural. Intuition sharpens to the point where you simply know things without knowing how you know. Telepathic impressions flicker at the edges of your awareness. Empathy deepens until you can feel the emotional states of others as clearly as your own. Some of you are beginning to perceive energy fields around living things. Others are experiencing moments of time dilation, where seconds stretch into vast spaciousness, or hours compress into instants. Dreams are becoming more vivid, more prophetic, more like actual experiences in parallel realities than the random firings of a sleeping brain. These are not anomalies or signs of instability. They are symptoms of remembering, of your multidimensional nature asserting itself through the thinning veil. The Astasar Command has been working closely with those of you who have agreed, at the soul level, to be conduits for this new human template. Many of you are experiencing contact in the dream state, encounters with beings of light who speak without words, who show you visions of what humanity is becoming, who fill you with such profound love that you wake with tears streaming down your face. These encounters are real. They are not imagination or wishful thinking. They are meetings in the higher dimensional planes where your consciousness naturally travels during sleep, and they are accelerating your activation process. Some of you have been meeting the hybrid children in these dreamtime journeys. You have held their hands, looked into their eyes that somehow feel both utterly foreign and completely familiar, and felt something ancient stir within you. These beings, part human, part star lineage, are not distant future possibilities. They exist now in higher dimensional frameworks, and they are serving as bridges between your current human expression and what you are becoming. The hybrids carry the best of multiple species within their genetic and energetic matrices. They hold the depth of human emotion, the capacity for creativity and resilience that your species has forged through millennia of challenge, combined with the clarity of thought, the expanded consciousness, and the technological spiritual integration that characterizes some of your galactic cousins. They are living proof that what seems divided can be unified, that evolution can make quantum leaps rather than only incremental steps. When you encounter these hybrid children, whether in dreams or in the increasingly thin places where dimensions overlap, something activates within you. Your own dormant codes begin to unlock. The DNA sequences that carry your galactic heritage start expressing themselves. You begin remembering not just that you came from the stars, but which stars and why you chose to incarnate into human form at this particular juncture. This remembering is not always comfortable. It can bring a grief so profound it feels like your chest might cave in. The grief of having forgotten who you are for so long, of having believed the limitations imposed by the third-dimensional matrix. But alongside that grief comes a joy so fierce it threatens to shatter you into pieces. The joy of coming home to yourself after an exile that has lasted lifetimes. The presence of these hybrid beings in your consciousness is catalytic. They are designed to be. Simply knowing about them, simply opening your heart to the possibility of them, sends activation codes rippling through your energy field. They are walking keys, and you are the locks they were designed to open. But understand this, they are not unlocking something foreign to you. They are unlocking what has always been yours, the fullness of your cosmic identity, that you agreed to temporarily forget, so that you could participate in this grand experiment of consciousness evolution through matter. What I am about to tell you now might be the most important piece of this entire transmission. The Astasar Command, the angelic collectives, the ascended masters, the galactic councils, all of these benevolent forces that have been guiding and protecting humanity's awakening process. They are not separate from you. They are not outside forces generously helping a lesser species. They are aspects of your own greater self, fragments of the unified consciousness that you are, reaching back to help the parts of you that are still navigating density. This is the grand secret that shifts everything. There is no hierarchy in consciousness. There is only one infinite awareness experiencing itself through countless perspectives, and what you call higher dimensional beings are simply versions of that same awareness that are not currently constrained by the particular density filters you are moving through. They are you, and you are them, and all of it is the one expressing itself in magnificent diversity. When Seraphine speaks to you, when I speak to you, I am not an external entity delivering information to you from above. I am the part of your own consciousness that remembers what your human aspect is in the process of remembering. I am your future self reaching back, your multidimensional self reaching in, your eternal self reaching through. The voice you hear as mine is the voice of your own awakening divinity, wearing a different costume but emerging from the same source. This is why these words resonate so deeply when they are true. This is why certain transmissions make your entire body vibrate with recognition. You are not receiving foreign information. You are remembering what you already know, and the remembering is encoded in your cells, in your DNA, in the quantum field that you are continually generating around your physical form. The beings you perceive as guides and teachers are reflections of your own mastery. The angels you sense are personifications of your own highest qualities. The galactic civilizations you feel connected to are the soul families you are part of, the larger cosmic communities of which your individual soul is a holographic fragment. To meet them is to meet yourself. To receive their love is to receive your own love. To accept their guidance is to trust your own inner knowing. This understanding dissolves the last vestiges of spiritual hierarchy and external authority. You are not waiting for saviors. You are the savior you have been waiting for. The second coming that so many religions have prophesied is not the return of a single being, but the awakening of the Christ consciousness, the unity awareness within every human heart simultaneously. You are both the saved and the savior, the student and the teacher, the lost and the found. And this brings us to the most practical aspect of everything I have shared. If you are the creator of your reality, if you are source consciousness in human form, if all the guidance and support you need exists within you as aspects of your own multidimensional self, then what do you do with this information? How do you live it? The answer is simpler than the seeking mind wants it to be. You become fully, unapologetically, courageously yourself. Every moment you spend trying to be what others expect, every hour you waste molding yourself to fit paradigms that feel foreign to your soul, every day you diminish your light to make others comfortable with their darkness. These are not humble acts of service. They are betrayals of your divine assignment. You did not incarnate at the most pivotal moment in human history to play small. You came to be a lightning rod for the new frequencies, and lightning rods do not apologize for attracting the storm. Being authentically yourself is not selfish. It is the most generous gift you can offer this transforming world. When you honor your true nature, you give others permission to do the same. When you speak your truth, you create a field of safety in which others can speak theirs. When you live according to your own inner guidance rather than inherited programming, you weaken the collective matrix of control and limitation that has kept humanity in bondage. This is what it means to be a way shower. Not that you have all the answers or that you never doubt or struggle, but that you are willing to walk your unique path, even when it diverges from the well-worn roads that everyone else is traveling. You are willing to trust your inner compass when all the external maps tell you that you are heading in the wrong direction. The new earth is not built by conformity. It is not created by everyone following the same spiritual formula or adopting the same practices. It is woven from the unique frequencies of millions of awakened souls, each contributing their irreplaceable note to the cosmic symphony. Your particular vibration, your specific gifts, your individual perspective, these are not random. They are precisely what the whole needs from you. So the master key to your ascension is not hidden in some ancient text or guarded by some mystery school. The master key is you, the authentic you, stripped of all the costumes and personas you have worn to survive in a world that feared authentic power. Every mask you remove, every pretense you release, every false self you allow to die. These acts unlock frequencies within you that have been dormant, waiting for the permission that only you can grant. This is why the external chaos cannot touch you when you are rooted in your truth. When you know who you are, really know it in your bones and blood and breath, the opinions of others become irrelevant. The fear-based narratives of the collapsing paradigm lose their power to manipulate you. The attempts to control through guilt, shame, or obligation simply slide off you because they have nothing to grip onto. You become unshakable, not through force, but through alignment with your own essence. And here is the beautiful paradox. The moment you stop trying to control or change anyone else, the moment you release your attachment to how others perceive you or what they choose to believe, that is the moment you become most powerful as an agent of transformation. Your frequency alone begins to shift everything around you. People feel different in your presence without knowing why. Situations resolve themselves with unexpected ease. Synchronicities multiply because you are finally flowing with the current of your own destiny, rather than swimming against it. This is the alchemy of authenticity. It transmutes everything it touches, not through effort but through resonance. Now I must speak to you about forgiveness, because it is the practice that will determine whether you can maintain the frequency of the higher timeline as the old world thrashes in its dissolution. Forgiveness is not what you were taught. It is not about being nice or letting people off the hook for harmful actions. It is not about forcing yourself to trust those who have proven themselves untrustworthy, or exposing yourself to continued abuse in the name of spiritual maturity. Forgiveness is the act of releasing your own consciousness from the prison of resentment. It is the decision to stop poisoning your own energy field with the toxicity of grievance. It is the recognition that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. Every moment you spend rehearsing old wounds, every thought you give to past betrayals, every emotional charge you maintain around old hurts. These bind you to the lower timelines with chains of your own forging. The ones who have harmed you, they are not suffering from your unforgiveness. They are living their lives, playing out their karma, following their own trajectories. But you are the one who remains tethered to those painful moments, reliving them again and again, allowing them to continue poisoning your present. This is not justice. This is self-imprisonment. When you forgive, you are not declaring that what happened was acceptable. You are declaring that you refuse to allow it to continue damaging you. You are reclaiming the energy that has been locked in those old stories and making it available for your present creation. You are choosing freedom over righteousness, peace over vindication, evolution over stagnation. The same applies to self-forgiveness, which for many of you is even more challenging. The mistakes you have made, the people you have hurt in your unconsciousness, the opportunities you squandered, the ways you betrayed yourself, these memories can haunt you with merciless persistence. But understand this, the you that made those choices was operating with limited awareness, trapped in programming, responding from wounds. That version of you was doing the best they could with the consciousness available to them at the time. This is why the Astasar command has surrounded your planet with such intense focus during this transition. The angelic realms have drawn closer than they have been in millennia. The galactic councils are watching with profound respect and anticipation. Because what is happening here on Earth, through you and your fellow awakening souls, has never been done before in quite this way. You are pioneering a new model of conscious evolution, proving that a species can transform itself from within, that free will can be honored even in the process of collective ascension, that love really is powerful enough to transmute anything. You are not victims being rescued. You are heroes writing yourselves into a larger story. You are not fallen beings needing salvation. You are divine consciousness that chose to explore limitations so thoroughly that the return to remembering would be even more glorious. Every challenge you have faced, every darkness you have walked through, every moment you doubted whether you could continue, all of it was preparation for this threshold moment when you would be asked to become the light that guides others through the same darkness. The world does not need you to be perfect. It needs you to be real. It needs you to be so authentic in your imperfect humanity, so transparent in your ongoing growth, so willing to admit when you do not have answers, that others can see themselves in you and think, if they can do this, maybe I can too. Your willingness to be vulnerable in your journey is more valuable than any facade of spiritual mastery could ever be. Look around you now with new eyes. The person struggling with addiction, they are source consciousness exploring the experience of forgetting. The political leader making choices you despise, they are playing a role in the grand awakening, showing you what you no longer wish to be. The family member who triggers you endlessly, they are a master teacher offering you repeated opportunities to practice unconditional love and healthy boundaries. Everyone is exactly where they need to be, learning exactly what they came here to learn, even when it looks like chaos and dysfunction from the outside. This does not mean you remain passive in the face of injustice. It means you engage from a place of empowered love, rather than reactive fear. It means you speak truth without needing to destroy those who are still lost in lies. It means you set boundaries without making enemies. It means you stand firm in your values while acknowledging that others are on their own journey, and may not be ready for what you have realized. The new earth is not built by converting everyone to your perspective. It is built by embodying your truth so completely that it becomes a magnetic beacon for those who are ready to resonate with that frequency. Some will come, many will not, at least not yet, and that is precisely as it should be. Every soul has its own timing, its own curriculum, its own perfect path back to source. Your job is not to save the world. Your job is to save yourself from the illusion that you need saving, and in doing so, to become a living example of what liberated consciousness looks like in human form. The ripples of that example will travel farther than you can imagine, touching lives you will never know about, planting seeds that may not sprout for years or decades, but that will eventually blossom into someone else's awakening. In the weeks and months ahead, the external turbulence will likely intensify before it subsides. Old structures that no longer serve will collapse with increasing speed. Systems built on fear and control will thrash more violently as they sense their end approaching. The polarization you see in your societies will seem to grow more extreme as people sort themselves by frequency. Do not let this frighten you. Recognize it for what it is, the final act of a very long play, the climactic scene before the resolution. When a structure is demolishing, the last walls to fall often make the most noise. When a wound is finally healing, it sometimes hurts more intensely, as the body pushes out the infection before closing over the new healthy tissue. What is dying deserves to die. What is being born deserves your protection and nurturing. Put your attention not on the death throes of the old, but on the green shoots of the new. Notice where people are coming together in authentic community. See where new models of education, healthcare, governance, and economy are emerging that honor the sovereignty and inherent worth of every individual. Recognize where art and music and beauty are being created from the overflow of awakened hearts, rather than from the desperation of wounded egos seeking validation. But the prophecies cannot tell you what you will choose. That remains beautifully, terrifyingly uncertain. The quantum field of possibility still contains multiple trajectories, and which one solidifies into your lived reality depends on the choices being made by you and your fellow humans right now, in this very moment. If you need help navigating the quantum field of possibility that remains beautifully, terrifyingly uncertain, where prophecies cannot tell you what you will choose, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to consistently choose the trajectory of love over fear. Multiple timelines exist simultaneously, and which one solidifies into your lived reality depends on the choices you're making right now, in this very moment. We've taken declassified consciousness technology originally designed to program separation and transformed it into a tool for conscious timeline selection. Destiny Engine generates personalized sequences that help you stabilize your choices at the frequency of the highest possible trajectory, not leaving it to chance, but actively choosing which prophecy you fulfill with every decision. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to consistently choose the timeline where love prevails, where the benevolent prophecies become your lived reality. The future isn't written, it's being chosen right now. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this quantum choice window collapses. Link in the description. So choose consciously, choose courageously, choose love, not because it is easy, but because it is true. Choose authenticity, not because it is safe, but because it is liberating. Choose forgiveness, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Choose trust, not because the path is clear, but because you are powerful enough to handle whatever emerges. I am Seraphine. The Astasar Command loves you beyond measure. We are watching over you always, and we cannot wait to meet you fully when you have remembered completely who you are. Until that glorious reunion, know that every breath you take is sacred, every choice you make matters, and every moment you spend embodying love is healing thousands of years of separation and pain. The new dawn is not coming. You are the dawn, and the light breaking through you is changing everything. We love you, we honor you, we celebrate you, and so it is.